And yes, you saw them. You saw them coming across. Good. Okay, so we're going to save time because we're going to go a little bit longer so you have time to speak with them. But let's go ahead and line up. If you think you're going to have a question, we'll take care of that now so that, we're going to be efficient here with this. Is everybody having a good morning? Did anyone go reserve their tickets yet for 2022? No. What's wrong with you guys? You just had 20 minutes to do it. I know. You don't have to get mad at me. I get it. I'm just trying to kill time. I understand. These A group down here, they're very, dedicated. I love it. Okay, so here's what we're going to do with the schedule. We're going to go an extra 10 minutes on this panel. So it'll go from 11:30 to 12. Then we're going to give a 10-minute break to switch over the talent. And then the next panel will go from 12:10 to 12:45. So that way everybody gets equal opportunities. Does that sound good? All right. So now we're just going to wait. They should be out here soon. Do I hear you guys backstage? These questions better be good. You guys have had a lot of time to think about them. No, like, what's your favorite juice? What was yesterday? Someone asked, what's your favorite serial killer? I'm like, I don't know. That's a little odd, right? Like, it was, yeah. There were some really good questions, though, especially in Misha's panel, I thought. Everybody's like, oh, yeah. We're going to do it again today. Everybody's going to have another chance to ask everyone whatever they want. Anybody have a favorite moment from yesterday that they want to share? You? Go ahead. Okay, wait. We got Rob and Ruth. Come on up, guys. Lots of noise. We got them. Woo! Hello. Hello, good morning. Yes, good morning, good morning. Come sit down. The peoples are ready for you. You guys ready for them? Well, we were going to kick off this panel talking about, like, Lucifer and talking about your podcast and talking about you being a Disney princess. But I think that the people are ready to talk to you themselves. So let's start over here. Hello.
Hello. My question is for both of you. If you had to pick a song to describe your character, what would it be?
Their character on Supernatural, obviously.
Yeah. I would pick the song that the band already picked for me. She's a black magic woman.
That's a good one.
She's a black. You sing it better than I do.
She's a black magic woman.
I like the shoulder movement in there. It's like you kind of have to do that.
She's a black magic woman. What if God were one of us?
Ooh.
That would be mine.
Can you sing that as well?
What if God was one of us?
Just a snob like one of us.
I don't know if that's the line. Is that what? Just a snob? Slob.
Oh.
You said snob.
Interesting.
I hear snob when I hear the song. I don't hear slob.
I don't. I hear very nice, caring person.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi.
Is for Ruth. Rowena, in one of her more poignant scenes with Crowley, tells him, "If I didn't hate you, I would love you." What impact did Rowena needing to hate everything she loved have on her character? And after losing Crowley, did she let herself love people more, especially Sam?
That's a really good question.
Wow. It made me think of, like, Rowena just for a second there as, like, in Gone with the Wind, when she's like, after all, tomorrow is another day, like, I can't love you. And it's like that kind of sense of epic tragediness of the whole thing. Just normally what I do in a panel, just so you know, it's like normally I make the person say what their name is, where they're from, and what they want. What's your name?
I'm Abby. I'm from Johnstown, which is about a couple of hours from here.
Oh, cool. It's nice to meet you. Normally I run around and I give out stolen goods.
Especially when she doesn't have an answer for the question.
I'm sorry, that was a bit to put you on the spot, huh?
No, you're exactly right. I'm fluffing. Is that the word? I don't know.
Well, how did you? Okay, so I think that to summarize, you had a very complicated relationship with your son.
Yeah, but yes. In losing him, actually, I was also then able to connect to how I should have cared for him more. And that did open me up more. I think without that having happened, I wouldn't have got to the point where I did do something almost selfless for myself at the very end. So absolutely, yes, it did. And I think the more you try to suppress something and push something down, the more it comes up. And I think that's what happened in coming back into contact with him after a couple hundred years of pretending I didn't, or thinking that he was gone, you know. And then honestly, for a minute, a little bit proud of him, that he was the king of hell. Because why wouldn't you be proud of your son
Exactly.
being the king of hell? Pretty cool.
Yeah, thank you. Great question.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for that.
Hi.
Hi. So first things first I want to say is, Rob, your music helped me through a bad mental state in high school. So thank you for putting everything you have into your music.
Oh, thank you
And
for saying
Ruth,
that.
Thank you for being such a positive light, such a beautiful light to so many people. So thank you. I love you both.
Thank you so much for saying that. I'm so happy that helped.
And my question is for the both of you, and speaking of music, what is your favorite song to perform at conventions?
Wow.
Ooh.
That's a big one. Do you
Yeah.
sing?
No.
No, neither do I really. But because of the conventions, Rob's band plays and we sing every Saturday night.
What's your favorite to sing?
It's like a team sport, finding a song for me that's in my range that I can kind of perform. So I sort of love them all as I'm doing them. I really like the Portishead one, Glory Box, because I really like Glory Box because it's kind of a bit dirty.
What's the one that you do where you do a little dance in the middle and spin around and then you leave
That's Glory Box.
at the end of the song?
Did it? Yeah, and I come on and like sneak off.
Yeah, but what's the one where you like spin and like do it like a dip?
It's the Glory
That's
Box.
Glory Box?
It's Glory Box.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that. I like that.
I love that.
Whatever song it is, I like that part.
Glory Box.
That's my favorite part.
Rob, what about you?
Gosh, there's so many like special moments of Saturday Night Special that really make it for me, and I would say among them are when we do She Waits and people shine the lights. It's like it's such a moment where I feel like I'm just so in tune with you guys, and we're just in it together. And I open my eyes, and everyone has the lights, and it's a really cool moment. Yeah, so I'd say that's up there for me.
Rob has written some new songs because we've had a bit of a gap, and I'm really excited for you to hear some of his new songs. Just keep your eyes peeled in the following months.
I love that. Okay, so let me thank you. Great question, by the way. And thank you for sharing that about high school. Let me ask you this, Rob. They just announced MomentoCon next May, 7th and 8th, MomentoCon 2.
Wow.
If it all works out and you're able to come back, would you consider playing here?
I'd love to.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
And you need to learn Black Magic Women
Yeah.
before then. Yes. All right, hi.
Hi. It's a little loud.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
My question is for both of you. is there any character on the show that you didn't get to have a scene with that you wish you could have?
Oh. I think they're good.
I never got to work with Richard Speight, and him and I are such good friends. I think that would have been funny to have, especially with God and one of his sons. That would have been funny to get God and Gabriel. I think that would have been a fun scene to do. So yeah,
Definitely. I would have liked to have done some more scenes with some of the women. I'm really good friends with so many of the women. But I know them because of conventions, not because we filmed together. Sam Smith and I we got one look across a room with each other at one point, and I would love to have seen what happened with Mary and Rowena, two sort of questionable mothers. And I'm so glad I got to work with Felicia a bit. That was phenomenal.
Elena, you never worked
I
with
never
Elena?
met Elena on the show, and that would
Abaddon.
be fun.
That would have been a good
Yeah.
matchup.
Yeah.
That's who I was thinking.
Couple redheads.
See, exactly. And in Hell, if you had more time in Hell, maybe I would have raised her up from the dead or whatever, like sent her out, done some killing for me, whatever.
Spin-off.
Spin-off. The redheads.
The redheads.
Yes.
I love
The
that.
red deadheads or something.
Yeah.
The deadheaders.
Yes.
The red deadheaders. There we go.
Firestorm.
Workshop that name. I like that. Thank you.
All right, thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you. Hi.
Hi. My question is for Rob. Was Chuck always supposed to be God? Or was that just something that came along afterwards?
So I don't know how early Eric Kripke, who created the show, I don't know how early he had that in mind. Maybe he knew from the beginning. I need to ask him one of these days. But at the point when I knew was at the end of season 5 with Swan Song. That episode was basically Eric Kripke's kind of love letter to the show, because then he left. So my character narrates the episode, then at the end I kind of vanish. And Eric called me and was like, just so you know, you're God, and that's what this means. And I was like, sweet. And then he was like, but I'm only telling you this because I don't want you to get your hopes up you're going to be back. Because once you introduce a character as God in a show like this, you can't have that guy coming in the door and going like, problem solved, I'm God, So he was like, let the fans have their own theories about what this means. Don't tell them you're God. So then for the next 5 seasons, I wasn't on the show, and I had to sort of, be like, well, I don't know. I think maybe he's God, but you should have your own, opinion. But that's when I knew. And then finally kind of the show came around to me coming back made sense because of the darkness and everything. So season 10, they kind of hinted at it. And then finally in season 11, I got to kind of come out of the closet as God, literally, because he comes out and he says he likes men and women. So that's kind of cool. So that's that journey.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So who's played God? You, Morgan Freeman, Tim Olsen?
Tim Amundsen, George Burns, and who's the man on Lucifer that actually, what's his name? Dennis Hayworth. Yeah.
Thank you. We're
Yeah.
glad
It's a
you're
short
here.
list.
It's a short list. Yeah, it's a big part.
Hi.
there. I wanted to thank you for actually remembering me yesterday when I came up to talk to you, Rob.
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to talk to you yet, Ruth, but I'm sure today I'll be able to. My question's for both of you, though, and I'm sure you both enjoyed the character you were playing, but if you had the chance to play one of the other characters in the show, who would you play and why?
The Rowena answer to that is no one. What's better than Rowena? That's her.
I agree.
That's her MO. That's why she's Rowena. I was possessed at one point by Michael, and I would like to have had longer to explore that or work that out. That was actually quite challenging, mostly because Jensen was right in front of me, and I was really intimidated because he'd just done such a cool job playing the same part. Oh. I think Lucifer is a fun one,
Yeah.
and I just wrote Rowena. That's it. glad I got to play the part.
Yeah, it's hard to say, to answer this one, because, you know, the characters, like, you can't imagine anyone else playing Crowley, you know? I think some of the bad guys on the show had some great lines. I would say probably Lucifer, just because he had some really delicious lines. You can't imagine anyone else playing besides Mark, but Pellegrino, but yeah, I would say maybe Lucifer. Although then when I got to be a bad guy at the end, I got some pretty delicious lines too. So I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
dream come true-ish. Yeah, I don't know. I always Pellegrino was probably always my answer, but
Yeah.
Richard had some fun stuff to do.
Yeah. I would like to have been Sam for a day just to know what it's like to look down on the world rather than up at everything. That would have been cool.
Yeah, there's a picture going around that I'm signing at this convention where it's like him and I from the season 15, and we're like standing looking over the balcony, and he's towering over me. But I remember specifically, I'm on a box.
I'm also on a box.
I'm also on a box like
towering
this,
over.
standing on the box. And if you see the picture, he's like here, I'm here, on a box. Anyway, yeah, that would be cool to be Sam, just to be tall.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Hi.
Hi. So, my question is for the both of you. Did either of you know the larger impact that both of your characters would have on the show when you were first introduced?
That's a good question.
I got a message from when I got cast. I got a message from my agent saying that casting said, "We don't think Ruth's quite understanding the impact of the supernatural fandom," and I had to keep it secret that I was cast. Not that I'm anybody or we knew the part was going to be any big thing or whatever. But I'd woken up at 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm sure, like many of you, you know, you check your phone on the way to the bathroom, and I had all these notifications like, and somebody on Twitter had worked out that I was playing Rowena, and it was like, "Welcome to the fandom," and all that. And and I had never experienced anything like it, so I got a huge shot of adrenaline at like 1 o'clock in the morning, the fright of my life, and so I began to understand at that point what it might be like.
Did you know when you got the part that you were going to be recurring?
I knew I was booked for one episode, potentially one or two more.
Okay.
And that was quite a lot for Supernatural to do.
Yeah.
You know, if you do 8 episodes, you're one of the biggest characters. You know, I knew, and I was really hoping for more. And my psychic lady told me there would be more.
There you go.
So I was hopeful.
I had no idea. I thought it was a one episode and I'm done.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, it was just an episode about this guy, you know, who wrote, and turns out he's a prophet. You know, you always do a part like this and hope that you get asked back. But as far as I was concerned, I thought it was just one episode. So, yeah, I had no idea. And then, you know, you get asked back for a couple more. And then, like I said, at the end of season 5, I'd had a pretty good run of season 4 and season 5. And then Eric said, "Hey, you probably aren't coming back." So I just kind of, no clue that I'd actually come back and have this whole second chapter to my character.
For another decade.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, do you think they do that in case the storyline's not working out? They don't have a commitment out there?
Probably, yeah.
They don't know as well. And I think part of my fortune was coming in at that point in time where they were caring more about what happened to the female characters, having some longevity, and also just it seemed to work with. I was brought in to give Mark's character more to do, I think, and Jeremy Carver liked it. I did 12 episodes in my first season, and there's just some alchemy sometimes that happens when everything aligns and you've paid your demon at the crossroads and the episodes come in.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Great question. Hi.
Hi, I love you guys both so much. I was just wondering, what do you think your character's biggest pet peeve is?
Oh.
Oh, good question.
Oh.
Oh. I'm your guilty pleasure, so don't look
That's
at me
right.
that way.
I know. What would be my character's pet peeve? Would be
That
go ahead. What's Rowena's pet peeve?
That I wasn't made Queen of Hell sooner.
Or for longer.
Or for longer, yeah.
And for longer.
Or for
Whatever.
longer.
Mine is that like people don't appreciate me. And how much care and work let me finish.
This is Chuck. This is Chuck.
This is Chuck and God.
Okay.
How much work goes into creating a universe? And my sister doesn't appreciate me? And the people don't understand? It's hard being God?
It's not an easy job.
It's not an easy
Not
job.
an easy job.
Looks good on a resume.
Thank you. Thank you. Great question. Hi.
Hi. Okay, so first off, I wanted to say something to both of you guys. I had to admit to my boyfriend that I was wrong because I hated the character of Rowena at first, unfortunately, because I'm like, oh, I don't like her, she's mean. And then you were amazing, and I'm like, damn, now I gotta say something to him. So thank you for that. And then to Rob, I have an advice question.
Okay.
How do I tell my dad, whose name is Rob, that you're the better Rob?
Oh my God.
Do I just rip that Band-Aid off, or
Wow.
what?
Oh my God.
It's tough.
What if I was like, right, so you sit him down. I would never, I would say that he's got a great name. And no, he's a perfectly great dad.
No two Robs are the same.
That's
it's
right.
not fair to compare.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, come on.
You could call him Rob 2 if you want.
Yeah, 2.0. He's Rob 2.0. Like, sorry, Dad, you
But
just
no.
don't get the one.
Yeah, Dad, if you ever see this, I'm sorry. I'm sure you're a great Rob. And there's enough room for both of us.
Right.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess.
But I appreciate
He'll never
you.
be God. But
That's
still.
true. That's true. I'm glad you appreciate that.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for everything, all the emotions over the years.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi. If you weren't in the show and you had to describe the show to someone without trying to scare them away, how would you get them to watch it?
It's funny because we do get, I always feel like this show is, you either know the show and you love it, or you don't know it at all, and you barely know it's on the, I find that it's funny because, out in the world, most people don't necessarily know who we are, and then there's that one person who's like, oh my God, and then another person will be like, what should I know you from? And then you have to explain it to somebody.
Not in airports, though. Everyone
Not
in
in airports. In airports, everybody knows us. But
I
I
think
always,
because it's on the television screens in the airports.
yeah. But anyway, I always say it's about these two brothers.
They're not hard on the eye.
They're super good looking.
I think would be a good
Yes.
in.
Yeah. And
there's a dodgy angel
there's a dodgy angel who's also very sweet
and a
looking.
dodgy god. They're all quite cute though.
Aw. I say I'm God at the end. So I'm like, these two brothers, they're hot. They're hunting down, bad angels and demons and stuff, and sometimes fighting off monsters. But it's all about their family connection. Their family blood means everything, and I play God. That's usually what I say.
It's a pretty good summary. I like it.
Would you say anything different?
No, just that, and there's pie in it, and fart jokes occasionally,
And a sweet car.
and a car,
Yep.
and one woman with particularly glamorous dresses.
That's right.
If you're into that sort of thing.
That's right.
Thank you. Okay, we have 5 minutes left, so we'll try to get through as
Oh
many
my word.
questions as we
Okay.
can. Yes, hi.
Hi. So since recently Jensen announced that he's working on a show for young John and Mary Winchester, I was wondering if there were any characters or just one character or two that you would love to see a spin-off show for.
I think they're right here.
But seriously, I spoke to a female author who's written a book about the last witch of Scotland. There's so much like imagine going back to the 17th century and really seeing like a young Rowena in the, you know, in the dirt and the grime and escaping being burned to death at the stake, you know, all the stuff, the reality of being a woman back then, and actually seeing some of that journey. I think there is such a great story there.
Yeah.
And I would obviously, unless there was actual magic or real CGI, I couldn't play that. So I'm not just saying that because I want a job. I think there's a real great story.
I would like to see, I agree with that. I would like to see the, go back to the moment where Chuck, the vessel, realizes that he's God. Like, I think that would be an interesting show. Chuck, the down and out writer, maybe he was earlier, like when in his life did God take his vessel, and what that journey was.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, you guys got some great questions.
Yes. Hi.
Hi, this is Mike. I have a question for Rob. What do you think Chuck would think of God's DL in season 7, the first episode?
Remind me of what's that?
Cass takes all the souls from purgatory, puts them in it, and he claims he's the new God.
Right. I think you'd think that was hilarious. He's funny.
Dodgy angel, that's what I said.
Yeah, he always had a soft spot for Castiel anyway.
So did Rowena.
Yeah, well,
Nobody asked me.
Who didn't? Who didn't she have a soft spot for?
Thank you. Thank you. Hi.
Hi, I have the bad luck with these mics, so this is a little awkward. I didn't know you were a Disney princess. I think that's awesome. And since, out of curiosity, he's literally right next to you, what Disney prince do you think Rob would be and why?
Well, Rob has been working really hard in his Scottish accent. So I think he could be one of the princes that comes to try and win Merida's hand.
I think that's its own spin-off right there.
Right.
Do you remember those princes?
No, they're like...
One of them's got like eyes, like a very narrow head. And just speaks in a Evertonian accent, like and that would be great to see you do that.
Wow. So they're like in the litany of Disney princes that are super hot.
So you want to be a princess with a different princess?
Nope. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. All right, I'll be one of those with the eyes close together.
Or maybe in Brave, the sequel, Brave 2, there's a new Scottish.
That's right. Oh, right.
See?
He's ready.
Rob's
Thank
Scottish
you.
accent is entirely based on a movie from the 70s called Gregory's Girl. And nobody actually speaks like this, but.
Oh, I have to do it very high like this. I always imitate Ruth. They're like, that's not how Ruth talks. I'm like, I know in my mind that's how she talks. Like, oh no, what are you doing? Oh.
Thank you. Hi.
I feel really called out for my true crime question.
It's okay, but we're like this, so.
My question is, I'm teaching this year for my first time, and I want to put quotes up in my room. So what's your favorite quote that I can put up in my classroom?
Hoard toilet paper. Hoard it like it's gold.
It still works.
There's two things I always come back to, which is one is be careful who you take advice from, like who you take your inspiration from. The other one is the Goethe's, be bold and mighty forces will come to your aid.
Wow.
Love that one. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yes, those are
Wow,
great.
you gave real quotes. Here's my real quote is, what other people think about you is none of your business.
Yeah.
That's
Thank
good.
you.
Okay, I'm so sorry. We have time for one last question. I know, I'm
What if
sorry.
we go real fast? Okay.
Okay, we can do 2 then. We'll do 2.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Go.
Hello, my question's for Ruth. I was just wondering, how does it feel to go from fangirling over Lucifer to becoming the Queen of Hell? And also, could you yell Fergus?
Yes. It feels great. It feels right. It feels like destiny, like it was meant to be. And Fergus! Fergus.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And last question. Hi.
Oh, his mic's off.
Okay, just shout it loud and I'll repeat it.
To your personal life?
When you step out of your character, do you find your character's characteristics leaking into your personal life?
In your personal life. Like, do you find attitude that you normally don't have?
I really, really hope so.
Yeah, a little bit of the Chuck stuff more than the God stuff. Yeah.
So you don't feel like God sometimes?
I never feel like God, but I often feel like getting a bottle of whiskey and crawling into the corner and locking the door. I feel that Chuck a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great last question. Thank you guys so much. Did you enjoy this?
And come see us.
One more big round of applause for Ruth and Rob.
Thanks so much. Come see us at our tables if you want to ask another question. Thank you.